All right, everyone. We just witnessed the last problem, the final episode. So, for anyone confused, I'm sure everyone's confused. We've been doing these live, not live. We've been doing, well, yeah, that's live. We've been doing these reviews for 6 years, 7 months, and 14 days. And to mark the historic occasion of the show ending, I figured we should do the one last episode here on the primary channel. So yes, I'm joined by a bunch of people, too many names off the top of my head. But yeah, what did you guys think? We just witnessed it. It's fresh in our minds.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Good.
Best finale ever.
It was good.
Yeah,
It was so good.
fantastic. I loved everything about it. It was it was a great send off.
I think this is like my 6th time seeing it, and this is my first time I didn't tear up. So yay, progress.
I know.
I teared up the first time.
Yeah, definitely. If I saw this for the first time, I would have definitely gone teared up and cried for like 5 minutes after watching it.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm still recovering, but at least I'm holding it together.
Oh yeah, it's just like a perfect way to end the show. Just like an epilogue that just basically shows everything that happened.
Yeah.
So let's try to treat this like any other review. What is this episode about? I know it's not really possible, but the episode's about future Twilight ruling all of Equestria, and we see little flashbacks to, I guess, quote present day of the coronation. I don't it's confusing. What is present day?
To a flashback.
Yeah.
So that's what made everything a little bit confusing, timey-wimey stuff.
Personally, I don't want to consider the future Twilight as being present day. It's just too weird and too jarring.
I think they tried to twist it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just in denial.
I am in denial. But speaking of denial, there were so many things in the coronation segments of this episode that relate to the show ending, and it's so self-referential, but it's genius in how subtle it is. Like, the denial aspect is the main 6 are all in denial of Twilight moving away and not being able to see each other as much. And it plays into so much of the grief process of the show ending for us hardcore fans. There were so many lines.
Definitely.
So many lines you could just take out of context. Like, just because things change doesn't mean you have to leave everything you love behind. And, like, stuff like that is like, oh, no, they're talking directly to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at it as.
And then, like, just because you, like, get older and everything doesn't mean your friendship will fade and everything like that as well.
Yeah, I think they're telling us, like, quite directly that just because this is over, just because the show is ending, doesn't mean what you're doing now, watching this with your friends or talking to your friends about this episode, that doesn't have to go away. And it's so self-referential and meta, it's kind of weird, but also amazing.
Oh,
I just removed all you. The show's over. Bye, guys.
It's a very strong.
Clearly, you didn't learn anything.
It's a very
from the
strong
show.
message, and as you mentioned, Little Shy, you know, where this, you know, us as people, we're gonna still watch the show, you know, through reruns, and just as you said, just because.
All right.
Ending,
we are getting off track. Let's try to do. That's okay. I understand. I'll probably do the same thing. Let's try to give it a proper review. So we're introduced to Luster Dawn, which is basically the Twilight 2.0. I think it's pretty obvious. Or is she? And it was said that she's just meant to be a blank slate. She's not meant to be related to any pony or anything like that. But what's interesting is
the character everyone's supposed to put herself, or they're supposed to put themselves as her.
Yeah, and I think the leaks indicated this was supposed to be Flurry Heart or something, but I don't know. That's all speculation. So.
Not really. I don't see it. It just looks like something, just like a flashback to like the episode where like the
first episode, you mean?
One. First one. Yep.
It was a little bit weird. Luster Dawn's distaste for friendship is so heavy-handed. It's like, oh, I don't like friendship. I like reading my books. Like, I get they were trying to reference that she's like Twilight, but even Twilight wasn't that heavy-handed.
No, I understand where she's coming from, because she even said, "What's the point of making friends if they're all gonna fade?" So I understand where she's coming from on that.
Well, this episode sets up to make us think the main 6 are dead. I don't have a screenshot, but they show like the statue of the main 6, and they're conveniently absent during most of this.
Hard about that.
Yeah, I think you're thinking way too hard on that.
No, because then they burst through the door at the end like it's a big reveal. I'm pretty sure we were meant to think that maybe.
No, it's just...
How could you see future Twilight and not think that everybody else is dead? Like, that's like a fandom meme.
Everyone in the show is dead.
20 years down the line, you're gonna get your dead ponies one way or another.
I got a few dead ponies.
Well, speaking of years down the line, approximately how many years do you think this is in the future? I have my own ideas, but
like
I'm
30.
guessing like probably about 20 years.
20,
20-ish years, yeah.
I say 30.
yeah, I think somewhere between that.
Their age is definitely shown in their
say
future selves.
40. I would say 40, considering how much the age showed in the main 6.
Mhm.
Considering they were estimated within the show to be in their early 20s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think that
probably-
makes
yeah,
sense.
So I would actually say 40.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, in the law of horse ages, they would only be like 27.
No, it's not horse. It's a cartoon. Now look who's looking too far into it. So there were a lot of little great moments. A lot of like every character I think is intentionally referencing their own personal arcs. Like Fluttershy with her animal sanctuary, Rainbow Dash with the Wonderbolts, and those are all things that have been developed over the past 9 years. And it's like it's not very obvious what's going on there because it kind of fits into the story so well. But I think the subtlety of course, Rarity with her dresses, the subtlety of that is actually quite amazing. How it's kind of a reference to the past 9 years without hitting you over the head with it. Remember this? Remember I'm a Wonderbolt? That sort of thing.
I also like when Rarity talks about change and all that. She says that she's making like designs for non-ponies, and I think that's a really good step forward in her creativity.
You're very progressive, Rarity.
And
Finally.
she's got Yona to help her with that.
Yeah.
Her clothing is no longer racist.
Yeah.
No, but that's also referenced in the very beginning, actually very end, when she first walks in about Yakyakistan, how she's selling lines up there now. That's interesting, how she's expanded her fashion empire.
Her empire.
And it's funny because
It will
so many of
overthrow
those
Twilight.
so many of those
Becoming a
continuity
monopoly.
details, so many of those continuity details are kind of either subtle or off screen or implied. And I like how much of the episode just focuses on here in the present during the coronation of the main 6 just being upset and talking about their feelings. And it's very slow paced, it's very deliberate. And I was just complaining, for those confused, we just did a review on the season finale, and my big complaint was that it was too fast, too crowded, too rushed. And this is kind of the opposite. It's much slower. It's a 1-part finale, and it's perfect. It's like I tweeted a long
Slice of
time
life,
ago.
That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, it is pretty much a slice of life episode, isn't it? And I tweeted, I hope that the finale of the show is like a slice of life 1-parter. And at the time I tweeted that, I think it was half a year ago, and I thought, oh, there's no way they'd actually do something like that. It has to go out with a bang, has to be a 2-parter. And no, I exactly got my wish. It was kind of amazing. I predicted that.
I'm
Your
so
wish
glad,
came true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
so terrified that it was gonna end with the season finale.
It was just going to end with Chrysalis being a fruity moose, and she's all going to be good, and there's no villains left. I actually thought they were going to reform every single villain in the show. I really thought they were going to go that route, and I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Me
like
too.
it was so good.
Because that was like one of my speculations for the endings. Like
Hmm.
they're all reformed because friendship is magic and
No,
whatnot.
instead, it kind of leaves us
Yeah.
picturing their world is still going on in the background. Like, things have obviously changed. The characters have developed. Twilight's ruling now. But Equestria is all the same in our fictional, imaginations.
They still
Very
could come
close
back
to
because
me.
like Discord was also first.
Exactly.
stone.
All right, well, let's not talk about the season finale. We did that.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah,
interested,
we
go
already
check
did
out our
that.
other channel.
Yeah.
But,
so
Everything here is up to interpretation.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, do you want to talk about interpretation? Because this episode is
And
loaded
there's
with,
a lot. Yeah,
it
loads
leaves
of
us
so
with
many
a lot
things
of-
hinted
I
at.
think that's a good thing.
and yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's a good
We
thing
can
because
discuss and all that sort of thing.
all right, can I talk about a bombshell, a big controversial, maybe not controversial,
Sure.
but Rainbow Dash and
Go
Applejack
for
being a couple. Personally, I'm not a fan. I don't think any of the main 6 should have romantic involvement. It's creepy because I see them as family, but obviously shippers would disagree. So the fact that they leave it so open-ended, and I guess everyone's happy. Is everyone happy? I don't.
I was.
And it's-
no, I see it.
I don't
I
think
just see it.
I was.
always unhappy.
I just see it as Rainbow Dash and Applejack. It's just Ashley.
So I just see them as friends still, and yet
Yeah,
those who
I
love
was-
the
I
ship,
agree.
those
I
who
was
love the
gen-
ship can see it in their own way. And again, it's open to interpretation, and that's not just here, but in every aspect, except for maybe the obvious ones like Pinkie Pie has a baby. I don't think you can interpret that any other way. But
Yeah, that one.
I was genuinely
It's
confused
Weird Al's reaction
about
was the best.
Applejack and Rainbow Dash being a couple, so I was confused.
I mean,
that
I
honestly
would have.
thought-
I mean, it would have made sense if Rainbow Dash was like a lesbian. I mean, that would have made sense, though, wouldn't it? And if
Yeah,
it
they-
wasn't Applejack, if she was with another pony like a mare, and it wasn't Applejack, would have been a little better, like instead of her friend. Like,
couldn't
No,
it
wouldn't
have
have
so
been
that
like-
wouldn't have
I
that
actually-
wouldn't have been open to interpretation then. Then it would have directly been trying to introduce that as an idea. But what they actually did is so much more open-ended. In theory, it should leave everyone happy because you just, kind of interpret it as you wish.
At least they didn't force it, where it's just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in love with you.
Yeah, see, I feel like if they wanted to go all the way, they could have
I
easily.
would say the same thing for Pinky and Cheese Sandwich. I really didn't see anything that really kind of clicked between those two, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. That's not open to interpretation. I think that's obvious.
That was
do I have a screenshot?
That one was sort of hinted at in the last episode with Cheese Sandwich.
Thought I had a screenshot, but yeah. So
I really didn't see anything that clicked on it.
Also,
like,
Yona and Sandbar. Yona and Sandbar, but that was one of the more.
The joke, but you won't let me.
You can do the joke.
They finally.
Jump in. Let's see.
I guess he doesn't want to. So, but yeah, but the Yona and Sandbar one is more subtle, where you can just assume that they were visiting or something.
It's stupid though, because out of everything that was development ever, Sandbar randomly likes Yona. Okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen sooner or later.
Maybe they're just friends.
Yeah, so that's the thing. There was a
Let's
lot.
go with that.
Even of course, Fluttershine Discord is also open to interpretation, and I like it that way because again, like it's just too much at once. We have enough of those crazy bombshells, like Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie has a baby. I still can't believe it. Oh my gosh! But
yeah.
Wait, you guys laughing at the meme?
And Spike got super buff.
Yes,
Yeah.
super buff.
Spike, that's one thing I was confused on. Why is he super buff? Why is he
Muscle man?
Dragons can.
I am inevitable.
I believe it was established earlier in the series that dragons can change their appearances due to
like upbringing, right?
Yeah, like upbringing
Circumstances.
or like how to grow their size.
Yeah.
I can't remember when.
Short answer: dragons grow.
Well, yeah. Well, it's different because if it was all driven by greed, like if he wasn't so bona fide, he probably would be a big purple one, like the red guy, whatever his name is. But yeah, I guess that's that. I like older Spike. I mean, are we all on board with that?
I'm on board.
I like older Spike.
I just don't like. I don't like the his design though. It's just.
You don't? Oh, so I'm gonna make my joke if you don't want to. You're only jealous because your Dakimakura of him is smaller now.
Ah, you're right. I gotta get a bigger one now.
C-snap.
I gotta get one with I don't know, cushiony pecs.
Oh no! All right. We're getting way off board. I just want to say, I think I kind of already mentioned it, but I love the single part slower pace of this episode, and that's kind of like my review in a summary. It's just it's slower, but it has plenty of bombshells of crazy stuff going on in the future, obviously. So.
So I have something to complain about the episode.
Oh, here we go.
It's more of just like the story about the coronation thing. Like a lot of these things could happen, like if Twilight didn't go back and like wanted her friends to come to the castle with her. But
well, we're not gonna focus on the nitpicks because there's a lot of them. I have a few too, but we're not gonna. This is special. It's the series finale.
I know, but this is a part of the episode.
Why not just judge it based off of how it wrapped up the show?
All right then, 10 out of 10.
No, like if you do want to get on details, like the Star Spiders thing came out of nowhere. It was an interesting detail, but I do question if there was like an inside joke
that
there.
one did feel kind of odd because I forgot what they were.
Well, I think it was Josh Haber who actually introduced the Star Spiders, and then nothing ever happened with them. They were teased, like in Castlemania. What was that, season 2, 3, 4, or something like that? 4. So they were teased a long time ago, and nothing happened with them. And I think we saw a couple more appearances, but nothing happened with them. So it was like, finally, Hasbro won't let me do my special Star Spider episode. I'm just going to throw them in the finale. What are they going to do about it? Like, there's got to be a story behind that.
But I did love this episode, especially the song at the end. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because honestly, I thought they were gonna do some kind of rendition of the theme song, like it's almost the same lyrics. But I'm glad we got something.
Well,
that was pretty
stop
decent.
it! You made me
especially the instrumental part. It's like
I found something I hate, and I hate you.
Wait, what? Tell us, Tootsie. Rant.
Haha, made you sad.
I was okay. The one minor thing that really annoyed me is that the ending, the intro, the outro, I don't know, the ending credits, it was not the season 9 trailer music. Why didn't they do that?
I know we know. Someone said it was because Hasbro wouldn't let them, and I don't know the details of why. But yeah, so Tootsie's wondering why do the credits have the same cheery, normal theme song music, and apparently it was Hasbro.
Other serious episodes got like their own
Perfect pair.
Yeah, they got their own ending music, but this one, I guess the show ending isn't really that important for it.
I think that's an answer we'll have later in the future. I'm sure if it's not already out there, we'll find out why. But for now, it's just speculation.
I'm just hoping Big Hackintosh actually leaks that song.
Oh, careful what you say. Now Hasbro's watching this stream.
Hi, Hasbro.
So you're streaming this on your main channel.
Yeah. All right. So I want to just lightning round some notes I have, and then we'll jump into individual thoughts and ratings. Magic Memory Book. That was great. I love that.
It's a book of memes.
That was bittersweet.
A book of gifts.
Actually, I see it as a book of pirated episodes.
They're gonna get a C&D for that.
The book of pirated episodes, because there's no way Starlight bought all of them. There's no way.
No, well, that's the thing. We were supposed to get back to the hacks, but we were supposed to get a clip show of how she made that book, and I don't think that ever came out, did it?
Nope.
It might not exist.
Nope.
But we were going to get like dedicated clip show episodes of how Starlight built that memory book. But whatever, that's
It's
a tangent.
Starlight. I'm pretty sure some
The
magic.
book of memes.
Yeah, it's not hard to believe the
Think about
magic
who your
involved.
character-
Okay, it's simple. She didn't need to buy all the episodes because she said it's not your episodes, it's our episodes.
Was that an R Town joke? Sorry.
Communism?
Yeah. Well, no. So next on my list, I want to quickly mention is the song, and I just got to say the song is so catchy and so heartwarming. It's horrible because it's an earworm. Every time it gets stuck in your head, you're reminded of the end of the show, and that's tragic.
I blasted that song when I was going to work, and a coworker asked me about it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Why are you crying so loud?
Yeah.
I remember I told my sister, this is like a month or two back when it first leaked, but I told my sister what happened in this finale, and her first words to me were, "Are you okay?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so
Your
heartwarming.
sister is so sweet.
Yeah. So, all right, speaking of things that are we okay with, Pinkie Pie has a baby.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not okay with this. This is not okay.
I'm still
Here's the thing.
semi
okay
not
with it.
because again, like I don't know, the relationship between Cheese Sandwich and Pinkie Pie. Like again, I really didn't see anything.
Well, for the record, I'm like joking. Like this is okay. It's just too far out of nowhere. Like I've seen the episode a month ago, and I
agree.
still can't
I'm
process
okay.
this.
I'm honestly just surprised that there aren't more kids. I would be.
Oh my gosh.
No, here's
All-
the.
That'd be
all
too
the
much.
chicks
I
have
agree.
kids.
If they're party,
No, I want to tell you guys something. Okay, when this episode, well, obviously showed, out of all of the main characters, Pinkie Pie was the last one I would have thought to actually settle down. I would expect more of Rarity
Maybe-
because
Maybe that's the
she
joke.
was like the one who's always like been talking about getting married.
Yeah, and maybe it's trying to subvert expectations. Maybe that's intentional.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was just Pinkie Pie. That one like came out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
And then,
couldn't
of
see
course,
it.
we
I
have
can't say-
Fluttershy
I
and
can't say that
Discord
I
hinted
couldn't
at.
see it because I knew it was gonna come.
Yeah.
Maybe in my fan fictions.
So what were your guys' reactions when we saw the Cake Twins? That part broke me.
I was like, finally, they grew an inch.
Finally.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, jeez. What's
They
taking
grew out of the
so
creepy
long?
baby.
Wait, so this is so weird. The Cake Twins are probably babysitting little Cheese. Like that's just so weird to think about. Like Pinkie Pie would
my
babysit the.
goodness.
Used to babysitting them and all.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And
They
Gummy.
have
I don't have a
baby
screenshot, but Gummy is really big for some reason. I think that was
Yeah,
just.
I don't get that.
Okay,
I don't
that
get
might be
either.
the.
How's-
That might be the one joke I don't really like because it seemed like they threw it in for the sake of throwing it in, and like it's not a new design. It's just a scaled up gummy.
He just
so
It's just a
kinda,
big gummy.
It's kind of like
He found
Smolders.
something
All it was
weird.
was scaled up.
yeah. So that
Pinkie
part,
found
okay,
something.
whatever. It's just a joke, I guess, but just
And
weird.
hats.
All right, so, and also the CMC are all grown
Yeah.
up, but it's kind of
They're actually
hampered.
grown up.
Yeah, we saw them in their grown up form already in a previous
Yeah, so
episode.
it's not really. It's not really a shocker. It's
Yeah, that's
more
what I'm
of a
saying. I
like,
wish
oh.
we didn't have that previous
Oh,
episode.
hey,
we could have
can
just
see
done
them
without
again,
that.
and they're- yeah.
Yeah.
Except this
Now it's
time,
for real.
Except that this time Apple Bloom has Golden Delicious.
Oh yeah, Goldie
scarf.
Delicious like scarf.
Yeah, I don't have a
Spoiler,
screenshot,
all
but
the elders
yeah.
are dead.
It's funny because they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, go away.
Big Mac has a baby.
Oh, that one.
With
I knew that.
someone,
I
obviously.
knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that one was coming.
disapprove
Yono
of
and
that
Sandbar.
ship. I've always disapproved of that ship.
Angel Bunny has a. I guess is he not around anymore? These are his offspring or something.
Those are probably his offspring.
dead
I think
and
all the
there's a
pets
lot of
are
offspring.
all the pets are dead.
And then the ending
Yeah,
with
I
the
was gonna say-
PMV. We got that PMV at the end, and of course,
That was great.
and of course the book.
That hit.
The
Look at
only
all-
thing
That's
I was
what broke
thinking
me.
of, the only thing I was thinking of is like, wow, the book was just sitting open in a field for like last 9 years.
Don't ruin this, Tootsie. Get out of here.
Don't ruin
No,
it.
no, it's a flash forward, so it's the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the last 20 years, the book's just been. Who wrote the book? Who's the author of the book?
No,
Lord
it's not
Faust.
real. It's non-diegetic, Tootsie. What kind of
No,
reviewer
it's a
are
book.
you?
It's right there. It's
It's Lord
closed.
Faust.
It
It's
shows it's
non-diegetic.
real.
It's not real like the PMV is. Anyway, all right, let's jump into individual thoughts and ratings. We're gonna do like a minute and a half reviews, or up to a minute and a half. You can obviously stay shorter if you want. For those unaware, we have kind of this little format where we have general discussion, individual thoughts and ratings, and at the end we'll give our average rating. So stay tuned for that. But first off, Brandon, what did you think?
When I first saw this with the leaks, I had no idea what was going on, but I liked it. It was great. And then I saw the English version. I'm like, oh, this makes much more sense. I love it. A perfect way to send the show off. The ending with the book is what really got me though. I kind of expected them to end it like that, but also not. The fact they did, it kind of made me tear up a lot. It was fantastic. I will give this a 8.5 out of 10.
All right, 8.5 from Brandon. Drummer Shy, what'd you think?
I loved it. It was fantastic. What a great send off for the end of an era. It's bittersweet knowing that the ponies you loved it's just
Dead.
stop. No, it was bittersweet and just seeing them grow up and knowing how Equestria runs now is friendship and magic, and it was very heartwarming to see the ponies all grow up and learn that just because they have these flaws and mistakes doesn't mean their friendship ends there. Friendship just goes on forever, and it shows within this episode, and it was heartwarming. We're still here. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
All
Fantastic.
right. A 9 from Drummer Shy. Hojo Kono, what did you think?
Okay, so I obviously loved it, but as the magic of friendship grows, so does my friendships with my friends I've made through the past few years with this entire fandom, and I'm still staying in the fandom. Don't know about you guys, but I'm still staying. This has been a hell of a ride, and I give and for the show to actually just like basically tell us your friendships will never end, and you're all going to be, and just like everything grows up and moves on, and life still moves on. It's great, and just seeing how all these ponies just like grew up, and I love the fact that we actually get an epilogue in this show instead of just like leaving it up to like, oh, what happened to this? What happened to this? It's most of it's been answered, but I give this one a 10 out of 10.
All right, 10 out of 10. Jessica, what do you think?
This is gonna hurt. Oh god. First of all, when this was leaked, I did not want to see this because I didn't want to be spoiled because this is the very last episode and so much is changing and but I did anyway, and I'm glad that I did because I really do love this. It's a really great way to end the series. I love how it takes place in the future where everyone is getting older, and the ending song was perfect. I still sing it even when I'm not watching the episode. I really like it, and I love how everyone has their satisfying ends to their development throughout this series. Everything we've been building up to concludes really well in this episode. And I like how the lesson is that even though the show is ending, we're not going to stop being friends. We're always going to be friends no matter what. Well, nothing is going to stop us. So this was a very satisfying conclusion. Really great. So great conclusion to the series. I would say a 10 out of 10 for me.
Oh, another 10 from Jessica. All right. I'm next on the list, but I'm going to wrap things up, so we're going to jump down to Magma Master.
Okay, one second. Can you hear me properly? I just disconnected for a moment.
It's a little bit glitchy.
Okay, it's possible to understand?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, I actually like this quite a bit. The message of it was good, and it was what a lot of us really needed. And the way it was delivered was also pretty good. I don't really want to go too deep into it, really, because I also feel like it would kind of take away from it. But of course, it's not perfect because if you think about it, it doesn't have that much reoccurring entertainment value for rewatching. But as an end, it is really good. So I'm giving it an 8.5.
All right. 8.5 for Magma Master. Up next, MC Jam. What did you think?
When I first watched it, which I watched it when it first aired, and for about 3 days, I felt like my soul was ripped out. I felt miserable because it's like, oh, it's all over now. The show I've known semi-grown up was over. And oh, bye someone. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, but I want to say that it was a good episode. It was a good conclusion to giving us into a glimpse of what their life is like nowadays. And you may not like it, but it pretty much is saying that's the present. And I feel happy, like seeing this, seeing what the seeing the ending. One thing I want to note though is the crown, because for some reason, if jumping back to the 24th episode, Spike was fitting the crown, but in this episode, Celestia and Luna just combined it, so that confused. But otherwise, I would say 10 out of 10.
All right. Wow, another 10 out of 10. Sonic Crew. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm honestly glad that I actually didn't see this episode right around when we're doing it right now, because I probably would have break down crying for at least 5 minutes straight right as we're starting to review, because this TV show meant a lot to me in my life, because it introduced me to the fandom and all of you guys, and it's been some of the best years of my life. And the way that they handled this episode, it was the perfect ending that you could probably possibly give to a fantastic show of this decade. I have very little to complain about it, so I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
All right, another 10 out of 10. Technobite. What do you think?
Serious or joke review?
Do you have time for both?
Sure. Which one do you want to start
I
with?
don't know. Just go for it.
Serious review? Okay, let's go with that one. I feel like this was the perfect send-off, and it's telling us to not worry that things are changing and stuff is ending, that we can still, for example, have this call and watch episodes and stuff. But other than that, I give it a 10 out of 10. Also, here's my joke review. Whoever left that book out in the field, I kind of want to read it.
Yeah, maybe we'll find it someday. There's a live action short to make. Anyway. Storm XF3, get on it. All right, Tootsie, it's your turn.
Funny, man.
Oh, what?
It's your turn.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at some leaks.
I think that about summarizes his thoughts. He doesn't care.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, when you've seen the leak about 800 times, you kind of just stop caring at this
I
point.
disagree. I've seen it 800 times, and I disagree.
Okay, well, anywho, I'm gonna talk. First of all, let me talk about my review before you guys start bashing on me, okay?
Okay.
First of all, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna compare this episode to how it ended the show and also how it was written. First of all, for ending the show, I want to say that it was really good. I love how it was concluded. I love that it was more of a slice of life type episode. I was really scared that it was going to end with the two-parter that we just saw, and I didn't want that because I wanted more of a slice of life episode. And I was really impressed that we got that it took place in the future, but with flashbacks. I love that so much. And how many things that were confirmed in this? A lot of people don't seem to like how the characters are aged up or how some of them are old. First of all, you can only tell by a line. It's only a little line. That little line does not mean anything. But I really enjoyed this episode. I saw the leaks. I cried like a crybaby the last 4 times I watched it, and this is the first time I have not cried. I just want to say that it's a great episode, and I will definitely go back and rewatch this probably a couple more times. Even though I won't feel anything, I still love this show, and I was really glad that I got a proper send-off and it didn't just end out of the blue. So yeah, that's my review. I give it probably a 9 out of 10, just because the ending doesn't have the song from the trailer.
Oh, that one thing alone. Wow.
Yeah, that was the only thing.
Aw.
All right, I suppose it's my
agree with
turn. So I don't know. When I first saw this episode, it broke me. I don't think I've ever cried so hard in my adult life. And really, what it came down to was the book closing, like that. Just what it represents, you know, what it represents and all that. So, but the episode itself, if I try to remove that side of things from it, remove the fact that it's the last episode, which I know is wrong to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. The episode on its own, how does it stand up? I would actually say it's pretty good. Going into this, I really expected them to go the route of, we got to have a three-part, 2-part, big epic finale. Something crazy has to happen. The world has to be at stake. But no, there are no huge stakes, no huge villain. It's just the main 6 kind of processing their emotion. And it goes back to basics. It's a simple premise with a lot of crazy ideas that don't get too much in the way like a lot of other episodes do. So yeah, it's so hard to rate this episode for me. I genuinely don't know if I can give it a rating I can stand behind and say, yes, that's my definite rating. So I feel like I kind of have to just give it the default rating of 10 out of 10. But
yes.
I mean, how could I rate it anything else? Because if I want to rate it based on my enjoyment of the episode, based on how good I felt watching the episode, it's got to be a 0 out of 10 because it just broke me. It hurts to watch. My first reaction after watching it was, why would they do this to us? Why would they hurt us like this? And of course, it's only now I can hold it together after seeing this probably 6 times or so that I can process it more analytically. And it was a good episode. I think that's all there is to say.
Yes.
Yeah, stay tuned for Brony's react because I cry like a baby. So yes, 10 out of 10.
Oh, something to look forward to.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and calculate. Does our average rating even matter at this point?
No.
It's the last episode. Who cares?
10 out of 10.
All right, the average rating for Little Shy Livestream reviews of The Last Problem, the last episode, is, you guessed it, a 10 out of 10 if we round up. So for those interested, I don't have that. Maybe we'll come up with the rating for seasons and all that. But anyway, really quick, that's the end of the review. But I want to shout out, let everyone know that we've been doing these reviews for. I got it here. 6 years, 7 months, and 14 days. We've been doing these reviews for pretty much every episode since that beginning. We might go back from season 1, episode 1, and start them again from the ones we missed. We might do Philly Fantasia. We might do G5. We might do other shows. Check out the link in the description if you're interested in hearing our thoughts on stuff like that. Probably going to be season 1, episode 1. That's my guess. But yeah, this was a special occasion, which is why we're streaming on my primary channel today. And I don't think I have to explain why it's a special occasion. But yes, thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope to see you in the future at that link. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and goodbye.
I love you.
The call just broke.
Yeah,
Get out.